Thank you for joining us in part 2. We're going to go over upper back and neck pain and how to relieve it in simple, easy to use at home stretches using simple bolsters and props. This is part 2 where we're going to show you how you can lie on your back and open up the chest easily and comfortably. We're going to have you sit up for me. We're going to scoot this little bolster and prop down. We're going to start with just a low level. If you don't have a bolster or a pillow like this, you could use some towels. But we're going to bring this down so that when she lays back, it's probably going to hit just a little bit below the shoulder blades and then come up to about here. We essentially want it over the lower portion of the shoulder blades so she can fall back and open over this bolster. Let's see if we have it set at the right height. Lay back for me. There we go. Now, when your neck goes back, how does that feel?
It's a little bit uncomfortable.
A little bit uncomfortable? Okay. When you lengthened your neck that way, is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
There you go. So what happens if you open your arms out for me? Comfortable? Okay. How's it on your neck?
It feels pretty good.
Would you prefer that your head be a little bit lifted?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. So we're going to try that. I've got a handy towel right here. So lift your head for me. Now how's that?
That's better.
There we go. So just a slight change in neck position meant that she has a little more length on her neck. It feels more open and long instead of falling backwards. When people's neck falls backwards, these muscles can get kind of overstretched, especially if they're very comfortable in this position. How does this feel on your chest and your rib cage? Okay. Would you prefer to be a little bit more back bended? Maybe? Okay. So sit up for me again. And in this case, what I'm going to do to give her a little more pronounced pressure, this is big and broad. To make this a bit sharper, what I'm going to do is unroll this and then roll this guy up. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that in place and allow her to choose if she wants this roll higher or lower on her upper back. I'm going to put it about here to start. Go ahead and lay back for me. And how's it on the neck? Need more lift? There you go. So we're going to give her more lift on the neck. How's it on the back? You want it a little bit lower? So come up for me. Everyone and their spinal curves will be slightly different. Go ahead and lay back from there.
Yeah, that was good.
There we go. Everyone's curves will be a little bit different. I don't want you to feel discouraged if this is too high, it feels too intense. For a lot of people, just starting with this initial pillow would be plenty. But you'll notice what we've done is we've taken her out of her normal position in gravity, where we've allowed her rib cage to open so that she feels comfortable and relaxed, opening the pec and the chest, just like we did in the previous video, but we're giving her a passive way of laying down into this position. For her, does it feel better if you lift your arms up, or does it feel better if the arms are a little bit further down?
Better down.
Okay. Do you like the little bit of support under the upper arm?
Maybe not.
Maybe not? Okay. And from here, how's the bolster, this towel right here? That feels good. Okay. And you don't want more than that right now. Okay. So with her head and neck, this is the next piece that I'm going to have you add into what you're doing. If your arms, your chest, your rib cage, your upper back feels good, if it feels like you're opening and that feels nice, right? So with your neck right now, you're in a comfortable, relaxed position. You don't feel any strain in your neck. Okay, I want you to slowly tuck your chin and lift your head. There you go. Now slowly keep your chin tucked and just lower your head back. There you go. How's that? Yep. What I had her do is engage the muscles in the front to try to release this posterior piece of the neck, to be able to let go and unwind through this area. From here, we're gonna add an additional component because to try to open this piece of the upper back, a lot of these neck muscles go from the base of the skull down into the upper back. I'm gonna have her gently press the back of her head down into the pillow and then tuck her chin. There you go. Now, when you tuck your chin and hold and press the head back, I want you to hold that for 3 to 5 seconds and then slowly relax. There you go. When you did that, did you feel it back up here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's retracting, okay? So what most people do is their chest falls forward during the day. Now we're letting her fall open. What most people then also do is they jut their chin forward into protraction, which means they're using muscles in the front of the neck to pull the head forward. What I'm trying to do is change that chest position, change the position of her shoulder blades, and then adding retraction, adding that chin tuck, pressing the back of the head down. There you go. She saw me, got that little head shake. She can play with head and neck position to try to create length on the cervical spine, and that's gonna pull with those muscles into the upper back. She can do this comfortably, probably easily for 5 to 10 minutes. If you do it more than 5 minutes, just make sure that you still feel comfortable. You want things to still feel active, engaged, like you're having a sensation, but you don't want it to be sharp or painful. Where do you feel it most now?
So I feel it across the chest.
Across the chest.
Also in the neck.
In the neck? Do you feel it in the posterior neck? Is it more towards the base of the skull, or is it more down here? More down in here? So you feel it up through the chest on both sides, and then you feel it up here. Okay. Essentially what we're doing is we're trying to lengthen and stretch tight tissue. Stuff that doesn't get a chance to stretch. How much in our day-to-day life do we spend opening the chest? Very, very little. What we've done is we've cheated gravity by bolstering her and essentially teaching her a little bit of propped yoga. When she's in this position, can you breathe really deeply for me? I want you to feel your ribs. There you go. And there. Now you can play with the breathing and that movement all the way up through the neck. I know that you think of your, lungs as being inside your ribs, but do you feel the movement when you breathe that way and the way that it may pull back into this area? Because as she's breathing, she's affecting the rib cage, but she's also affecting the shoulder blades on top and then affecting the musculature that is attached around the rib cage that includes the neck. She can play with her head, neck position in any way that she wants. Would you prefer that this be a little more lifted? No? Okay. And for you, if you take your eye gaze, if you kind of lift the chin and look back, how does that feel? That feels good. Okay. That is a sort of playfulness that I want her to have. I don't want her to feel completely stuck in one position. Primarily, even though I'm teaching you safe, comfortable stretches, I'm just trying to get you to explore range of motion. I'm trying to get her to play with the position of her head and neck to be able to access tight, restricted tissue and be able to give herself the support that she needs to be able to unwind and release effortlessly. Many people who are having upper back and neck pain will benefit from this immensely if they do this daily. People 9 times out of 10 will tell me that they feel taller when they come out of this position, and they are. And the reason they are is because this part of their body has been pulling. Gravity has been pulling them forward. We've all seen older people, so let's say at the supermarket, who are crouched over. That is not just biology, that is life after years and years and inadequate stretching because they're not lengthening this and pulling the shoulders back to be able to open the chest. this part of the body is affecting what is above in the neck and cervical spine. Instead of just focusing on the neck, I find that the easiest way is to focus on the thoracic spine to open the pectoralis major and pec minor to be able to open the shoulders gently and safely. Has the sensation shifted at all?
No.
No? Okay. So just for something to play with, why don't you just lift your arms and just move them around. And when I say lift, you can actually lift them off the ground. You can actually engage. You can move them whatever position you want just to take some pressure off. You can put them down by your side, doesn't matter. How's that?
That's good. I just feel like I'm not getting as much of a stretch.
Okay. So you're not getting as much of a stretch open through the chest. Do you feel anything in the back at all?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay. Do you want to make that more pronounced?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just checking. And then how's it through the neck?
Good.
Good. Okay. Now, for a different position for the hands and arms, do you want a little bit more height on the head?
Sure.
Okay. Interlace your fingers and put your hands behind your head. There you go. How's that?
That's good.
There we go. So what we've done in this position, again, just playful mobility. We've given her a little bit more lift in the head. She's able to mobilize through the arms, and she's also getting a little bit, I think, of an increased stretch in pec minor by having herself here. Is it too much with your elbows back? Okay. There are myriad ways that you could use pillows and props to bolster yourself, even putting some like underneath the elbows. From this position, again, a little more playfulness, she can actually press the elbows down towards the floor and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. And then slowly relax and release. She can have the hands on the head up high. She can also bring the hands down lower where it's almost on the neck. It's whatever feels comfortable to her. This is very low impact. This is safe for people who've had cervical fusions, things along that nature, as long as you haven't had a surgery like within the last month. That's not a good idea. If you just had a surgery. But old issues that people are having with chronic upper back and neck pain, very simple, easy, effective techniques that you can use at home to try to open the chest and rib cage and bring more awareness to this area. Too much in the front? Still feels good? Yeah. Now, the last piece is you are going to become amazingly comfortable in this position, and I do not want you to fall asleep. If you fall asleep, you will wake up and you will be very, very sore the next day because these tissues that have lengthened and opened are not used to being in this elongated position. People can have like extreme sort of chronic soreness. So make sure, even if you're very relaxed, that you're still awake and alert. How we doing from there? Okay. Do you want to lift up and out? And you can use your hands as support if you want to. Yep, just to sit up slowly. Oh, oh, oh. And how does it feel when you come back to neutral?
Feels really good.
Feel taller?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Being able to do that regularly, it's going to open the chest. It's going to make your overall spine feel like it's longer and elongated. You're also going to feel like you have more freedom of movement in the neck and the spine itself because the muscles that have won the battle, the muscles that are pulling you forward, have been lengthened and stretched, and these muscles aren't having to fight them quite as much. As you come out of that prolonged back bend, it's fine for you to go ahead and counterbalance by sort of folding forward just a little bit. She can do this in any way that feels comfortable to her, including having her hands down on the mat. She needs a little bit more support. It's just allowing her to counterbalance from having that prolonged stretch the opposite direction. Long term, we're just trying to lengthen and stretch very tight, restricted muscles. But we also want to allow you to counterbalance that when you come back up. How's it feel?
Good.
And then when you come back to center, feel a little more balanced there? Yeah. She was in a prolonged stretch. Opening this and being able to counterbalance is often a really good way of just balancing what we've done so that she feels like Again, she can mobilize and move around tension that she's felt. Long term, we're just giving you tools to be able to stretch, lengthen very tight muscles so that you can have an increased sense of your own posture and body awareness. You can find the full Stretches for Back Pain Relief series on Amazon, and we appreciate your time and attention today.
Hey patrons, it's Karina and Missy. Hello.
Hey patrons, this is Jess.
Mom.
It is Greek Goddess Hour continued.
And we are here with an exciting update for you.
Going to be more interactive, more communication, more connection so that we can offer you more of what you want to see.
It's like the most frustrating thing. You're like, God, this video is going so great, and then the camera dies.
All right, patrons, so I just want to show you all my perspective here. All right, so here's
City.
You're choosing us over Netflix, or?
Right.
I wouldn't even choose us over Netflix. No, that's not true.
Feeling pretty lucky.
And what we want to do is become more connected with you.
So thank you so much.